think still people are coming and they're settling down. So I'm not sure how many have received the message. Morning, yeah. So all of you had good time with Bap Dada? Yes? Especially first-timers? Any first-timers in this group? Yes. Once we have heard Baba's Murli, then what is our next task? To spend some time with ourselves to reflect on what Bap Dada has said. What I have to do, what I have to stop doing, do's and don'ts. So that we can begin to become as Baba wants us to become. So far we have already had 3 Murlis, 21st, 15th November, 30th November. This is the 4th one. In fact, if you look at it, it is the 5th one, including the September 4th. And one thread continuously goes through all the Murlis, as I have observed, is the reason for labor. And Bap Dada's wish for us is to become free from labor. Baba cannot understand why is that we still need to labor when we have love for him. Because it is always said, where there is love, there is no labor. Where there is labor, there is no love. So I have to ask myself, am I laboring or am I making effort? Because there is just a fine line. Even in the day 4 yesterday's Murli, Baba said, Brahma Baba had attention, but he did not labor. So what does that mean? Attention is another name for effort, that's all. That means he did not become what he is now without having attention. That is making effort, but not labor. Labor is something that you do out of force, out of compulsion, just from the head. But when I am doing something with love, you don't feel that kind of force or compulsion. It is something that you do out of pleasure. So that is why once again Baba underlined in the last Murli, what is the importance of godly love? You know how fortunate we are that we are able to experience God's love. God's love, which is selfless, which can only be shared by God himself. The reason why Baba said that only God can give you selfless love is because God is incorporeal and God is egoless. So he does not have to show off. He does not need anything. So because he is incorporeal and egoless, he can give selfless love. And that selfless love, in fact, has given us the birth of Brahmin life. If at all we recall our Brahmin life, how we are being sustained, how we are making this Brahmin life successful, is because we are being sustained with God's love. That's why Baba said godly love is the foundation of Brahmin life. It is actually donation of life. In fact, Baba also says, if you don't have that love, your life is dry. But with love, life becomes entertaining. Entertaining in the sense enjoyable. You begin to enjoy every moment. Otherwise, it becomes dry. So some Brahmins, if they are experiencing dryness, the reason is that there is something missing. So the one who is giving, love is giving, constantly bestowing. But we become number-wise in receiving. That is why Baba mentioned two words. One in Hindi, one in English. Baba said, all Baba's children are lovely. That means are loved by God. But they are not yet lovely. That means merged in love. So there is a difference. To be lovely is easy. Why? Because God Himself chose us and made us belong to Him. And He is showering love upon us. So why we don't become lovely? But what we need to now do is to check ourselves to see to what extent I am merged, lost in that love. And the sign of that, Baba said, is the one who is lost in that godly love, love of the ocean, will not have any attraction to any person, any human being, or any physical facilities. If I can still have my intellect wandering towards people, towards facilities, it is understood there is some leakage. Did you check after listening to Baba's Murli? What is the leakage? Sometimes our leakage attraction can be also in the form of repulsion. One is attraction in the form of getting impressed. So that is, of course, you can identify easily. But the other form of attraction, which is negative, repulsion, is sometimes difficult to recognize. So when I have feelings of hate, dislikingness for somebody, that is also equally powerful pull. So that is why it is important for me to check. I don't have likes and dislikes. I don't have push and pulls. I don't have that feeling of accepting, rejecting. Love one and love all. So that kind of experience when I have, it's easy to be lost in love. And that is why Baba said the second sign of someone who is lost in love, merged in love, is they constantly follow Baba's direction at every step. Because they live in Baba's world. There is no one except one Baba. So they follow Baba's direction. As a result of that, they experience themselves totally sacrifice the consciousness of the body. Even that body is lost. Nothing. It is like, a moth sacrificing onto the flame. That is the stage. That is the image you can keep to understand what it means to be loveless. Baba talks about 3 types of moths. One type of moth which observes the flame from a distance, and the second one which circle around and go away. And the first number are those who jump onto the flame as soon as they see the flame. So what we need to have inculcation in order to remain merged in love is the recognition. Faith alone is not enough. Faith in the intellect will allow you to have love for Baba, there is no doubt. But when you have recognition in your heart, because recognition is from the heart, faith is from the intellect. So when you have recognized Baba from the heart, you are lost. That is why angels are those who are lost in love, because they are in love with God. In other words, they are fallen in love with God. That is what it means. Love lean means to falling in love. So when you have fallen in love, you don't have anything of your own. Your heart is gone. So where will your heart or your mind be pulled to? You don't have any more. We can also say that love lean stage means exclusive love. Exclusive love for one. No one else is included. That is when you are able to be absorbed, become one with Baba. Of course, I will still remain separate, but the feeling of becoming one with Baba, like the rivers merge into the ocean, become one. That means I lose my identity totally. That is why someone who experiences that stage becomes an angel. Because angels are totally exclusive love for God. And that is why even through the eyes of the angel, they share God's love in silence. So I need to check my leakage. Either it could be in the form of attraction to people or facilities also. Nowadays, this is one trap for Brahmins. Because the more you meditate, the more you become the conqueror of matter, the matter surrenders itself to you. Which means objects made out of matter will come to you. People will offer to you automatically. But then I have to make sure that I don't become subservient. I don't start enjoying, taking the benefits, making effort, taking that support. So this is a trap actually, facilities. And the other aspect Baba emphasized was old sanskaras. Up until now, we have kept certain old sanskara as pocket money, concealed somewhere. And when we are exposed to a situation, an atmosphere, it just peeps in, just comes up and gives a surprise for us also. It is there, that is why it comes. So which means what Baba was emphasizing was, I have to practice keeping 3 sanskaras in my awareness in the emerged form, so that this sanskara, the mediocre sanskara, can automatically be merged. Because if you look at the original, eternal sanskara of the soul, it's pure. The soul world, when you are in the soul world, The sanskara that you have is godly sanskara. So if you have the awareness of your eternal sanskara, and then when you came on to the cycle of life, original sanskara was also pure, all virtuous, completely viceless, 16 celestial degrees complete. So that sanskara also was pure. At the end of this Sangam Yuga, in this Brahmin life, again I have elevated sanskara. Sanskaras like that of Baba. So original, eternal, and awareness is elevated. Only for a short period of time, we adopted the mediocre sanskara. So what we need to practice more is to keep these three awareness in the emerged form, then that will automatically be merged. And when something is merged over a period of time, it will disappear. So this shows the lack of practice. Lack of practice of keeping these three awareness in the emerged form that creates leakage, that becomes an obstacle in remaining in the stage of being lost in love. So we need to experiment with this during the day. Even for 1 minute, few minutes here and there, when I am with Baba, can anybody, anything come in between? If anything, anybody can come in between, it is understood I have more love for that than Baba. I remember Jagdish Bhai used to say, for this, he used to say, don't love anyone more than you love Baba. If you love anyone more than you love Baba, they will come in between you and Baba. And he also used to say, don't love anyone, don't allow anyone to love you more than they love Baba. Otherwise, you will go in between their yoga. So that third person come means third eye closed. So this is where, in bhakti they talk about love is blind, they say. In what sense? That means when I am in love with Baba, this world should be blind to me. It should not be seen at all. It doesn't exist. You know the story of Laila and Majnu? Laila and Majnu are lover and beloved. They were so much in love with each other that constantly the image of Laila was constantly in front of Majnu, the beloved. Once he was looking for Laila and his eyes was open, but he couldn't see anything, and he was calling out the name of Laila, walking, just mad, mad in love. So on the way he saw one Muslim brother doing his prayers, namaz. They lie down. So he just walked on him, did not see him at all. He just went on him. So he got angry and he said, come here. Don't you see I am praying for God? You just walked on me? He said, what? Your love for God is only that much that you can see me. But my love for Laila is better. I cannot even see you. So he got a shock. He realized it is true. If I was lost in love, I would not have seen him. So sometimes we think we have powerful yoga, but we are actually battling, removing one after the other. It's not really powerful yoga. So this is why we need to emerge so much of love that we become embodiment of it. And that is for that what we need to do is to bring in front of us all the attainments and constantly create an attitude of gratitude for Baba. You know, that feeling of attitude of gratitude, that feeling of attainment that I emerge, fills my heart with so much love that I don't have to make any labor. Remembrance, you know, what is the kind of remembrance a soul who is lost in love have? There are 3 types of remembrance actually. One is, you say, I have to remember. So that means you had forgotten. The second thing is, remembrance is natural. But really lovely in remembrance means remembrance that becomes troublesome. Anybody has that experience? Troublesome. Sometimes in the Murlis, Baba says, no, some children remember me so much that they disturb my sleep also. Of course, Shiva Baba doesn't sleep, but Brahma Baba does sleep. But because children remember Shiva Baba so much, so he has to come from Parandam at that time and wake up Brahma Baba, enter him, and then give them the response of their love. So what kind of remembrance do you have? You have such remembrance, you have a question, oh Baba, tell me Yukti how to forget you. I can't forget you at all. But today we still keep asking Baba, Baba, I forget you, what to do? That is why Baba says, don't you feel shame? A child will never say to the father, Father, I forget you. He never sits and teaches him to remember also. So while you are here in Madhuban this time, make this effort, attention, to have such remembrance of Baba that you cannot forget. It is troublesome. In Hindi we call it Satane wali yaad. Except Baba there is no one. Only one. Where can the intellect go? So this is something Baba has given us a signal that what is lacking is that intense love for Baba. When that intense love emerges, the mediocre sanskara will automatically dissolve. We all want to transform ourselves. Why that self-transformation is not happening? Because of the lack of this stage. Still that old sanskara comes. And that is why when Baba was talking to double foreigners, he said you have to make double effort. Double effort in the sense, one is effort to remove the name and trace of the old world from my mind, my intellect. It doesn't exist. I died. So one who died, for them the whole world is dead. So that means I have not died yet. I am dying. Have you heard anybody saying like that? So and so is dying. But that is what is our stage like. We are not dead. If I have died alive totally, nobody of the world exists for me. Like today, I don't remember where I was born in my last birth. That is the proof of the new life, isn't it? If I am in this birth and I am remembering my past, so it is like neither here nor there. So what effort Baba said for double foreigners to make? Double effort. At the same time, name and trace of the old world and name and trace of the old sanskara should not remain. So take this challenge. Baba said you have attention, but now double underline. That when you return to your places, because many of you will be going back soon, many of you have arrived, for both of you I am saying, that have the aim that nothing should pull me, no relatives and no sanskara. Then I will not even use the word in my talk. Why did you do this? Oh, this is my old sanskara. Where did the old come from? You are already died. You have died. So when we make that kind of attention is necessary. Without attention, nothing will happen. Effort first and reward later. So I need to check myself, see what happens. My experience is, when we come to Baba in the beginning, we have lot of attention on ourselves. So much attention, so we experience ourselves lost in Baba's love. Everything is easy, everything is so natural. But after some time, that attention from the self shifts towards others. We begin to look at others, what they are doing, so our effort slows down. So now we have to really make up our mind to look at ourselves and look at Baba. Because I want to become like Baba. So this is another second point. The first one was to experience the stage of being lost in love in such a way that the world is blind to me. I just live in Baba's world. To live in Baba's world means to have all relationships and all attainments from one Baba. The second aspect was to the reason why we are not changing, why we are not transforming. Baba gave us a clear understanding because of the lack of this stage. So we need to create disinterest, for this old world and for this old sanskara. Until, this is the key, even though Baba did not say that, but he has mentioned it in the previous Murlis. Until you have disinterest for this old world and old sanskara, you cannot let go. So there will be some inclination or the other. Once I have created that disinterest, then I can renounce it for good. Then I will never look back. So disinterest is lacking, I think. We still find some taste. So our intellect goes. So use your own experience. If not, use the experience from the lives of others. What happened to them when they had got attracted to the old world? What happened to them when they had attracted towards the old sanskara? So when you use that experience, then you are able to learn from experience and you create a disinterest. I don't want, enough. So you throw away it, don't take it back again. So that realization is necessary. Without that realization, you cannot have transformation. So that is the highlight actually of the Murli, in fact. The third point Baba took up was, what is the sanskara both Bap and Dada has? Because when we are asked, what is the aim of your effort? All of us said in front of Baba, our aim is to become equal to Baba, Bap Saman. So then Baba said, what is one special quality both and Bap and Dada has? You remember what did Baba say? What was the sanskar of both Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba? In which we should become equal, according to Baba's signal. In one word, what did he say? You got the translation, right? Generosity. Generosity. Both of them In what way generosity? That they were able to give love and cooperation to all souls, irrespective of who they were. Baba even mentioned that even though he knows the horoscope, he knows the life story of each one, but still Baba gave them that love and cooperation. That is generosity. Not keeping the defect of that person, but give them the donation of virtues. So this is generosity. Like when you have a miserly heart, opposite to generosity, miserly, then you will not donate virtue, but you will talk about their weakness. This is what Baba said, Even though Baba knows the horoscope of everyone, he still called each one my lovely child. Even the last bead of the rosary, Baba saw them as one out of multi-millions. This is something I liked very much. Baba said, you should see each Brahmin soul, no matter what defect they have, as elevated soul, special soul, one out of multi-million, chosen by God. So if you see that speciality, as Baba says, then you begin to have love for that soul. Why we lack love for certain souls is because we keep the defect in our minds. No matter what defect they have, this is what Baba said. Instead of seeing the defect, give them the donation of your virtue. Give them the gift of your virtue. Because they are the one who need it. Like, if Baba would have said, somebody is falling, this is what Baba said, don't make them fall down completely. Or if you see the defect of someone, don't move away from them. Better, I don't want to come in contact with this soul. If I do, then I will be in trouble. So Baba says, no, don't move away. Don't see the defect, but give them support. This is what Baba said. Baba did, and he is doing. That is why everyone you ask, they feel Baba loves them. Baba loves them the most. He loves me more than you, they feel that way. Why? Because Baba genuinely looks at that speciality and makes that person feel great. This is the wonder of Baba. So for that we need to have a very broad mind and a very far-reaching intellect. Then only you can be generous, big-hearted. When you have a big heart, you can accommodate. That means you can merge whatever is the weakness, but give the donation of virtues. Because this is what Baba said, we need to create a rosary by giving the hand of cooperation. This kind of cooperation is needed in the godly family. We can give other kind of cooperation. We do give other kind of cooperation from time to time. When their task has to be done, we give them a hand. Sometimes we say, please give a hand. Something is heavy to lift, we give our hand helping to do karma yoga. Those kind of cooperation we are already giving. But this is a new kind of cooperation. Lending hand, holding hands in hands. So that means we have so much of love between each other that we do not count on the defects. This is the family love. So this is something Baba has given as a homework. so that this is going to glorify Baba's name. That is why Baba said, finish the anticipation of those souls who are calling out. Prepare for revelation. That was Baba's slogan. Finish the anticipation and prepare for glorification. So how do we prepare? I cannot just prepare on my own. I say, I am perfect. That cannot be possible to glorify Baba, isn't it? Glorification is only through collective effort. And that is why Baba said this collective effort that we make at present is created in the form of a rosary. Each bead is close to the next one. But the beads have come close to each other because they are threaded with the thread of love. So that love and cooperation, two things are necessary. Where there is love, there is cooperation. So, but the new way of understanding cooperation is in the form of giving donation, giving a gift of your virtue, giving a gift of power. How do you give it? How do you give a gift of virtue, gift of power, hand of cooperation? How? How have you planned to do that? Yes? How you are going to do it? Mm-hmm. That's also good. That's a pure feelings, good wishes. But another method is you be that yourself. Like suppose someone is not punctual. They are always lazy and late. So now how can I give them the donation, gift of virtue? If I tell them you are lazy, that makes them lose their self-respect. So, but I need to be that. Giving donation of virtue is not through giving class, not through giving lectures. That we all can do it very well. But gift means through your practical example, you make them aware of the importance of that. Like Brahma Baba did. Brahma Baba always had this slogan in his mind, whatever actions I perform, others will copy and do the same. So he was always aware that the whole Brahmin family is looking at him. So he was an example. So whatever virtue other person is lacking, I become that virtue myself. So when that soul comes in contact, they take that inspiration. So that means I am not seeing the defect, but I am doing it myself. So you create an atmosphere. See, this is something very important to make a note. In the last Murli also Baba said, why is that we recognize our old sanskara, we also have determination to change that old sanskara. What happens in between that we become slack? The reason Baba mentioned was the weakness in the atmosphere. So that is because of carelessness. So this time Baba said, you should create such a powerful atmosphere through your benevolent attitude. This is another way of giving gift. Instead of talking about the weakness of that person to other people and creating an atmosphere and weakening that person even more. Instead of that, I create a benevolent feelings benevolent attitude, then benevolent atmosphere will be created. And in that atmosphere, that soul will realize itself what to do and make that change. So what you cannot do through words has to be done through silence. Because everybody has an intellect, everybody has a heart, but due to some reason, there is some blockage somewhere. But sometimes, what we think as Brahmin, we talk to somebody about the defect of someone, thinking that we want to help them. Actually, our thought is to help them. So we are talking about what they should not be doing out of family, out of mercy. But in fact, we are not doing the right thing. Because by talking about that to another person, you are weakening that person and not giving them any strength. So as a love for that soul, as a family love, I merge that weakness first. That means merge means not suppress in me. That means merge it to such an extent that I have not seen the weakness at all. I highlight the virtue of that soul, and on the basis of that I give them love. Just like Baba does, we all know we have so many defects, right? But Baba keeps giving us love on what basis? And we feel Baba gives so much of cooperation because he looks at the speciality. All of us have one or the other speciality. We cannot say that, there is no one who don't have any speciality at all. So Baba highlights that speciality and merge the weakness. He become innocent about it. So that soul feels it. Baba loves me because he shares that genuine love. And in that love, he gives that power for that soul to remove that weakness without mentioning. That is merciful love. There is different types of love, but this is merciful love where you don't see the defect, you see the speciality and forgive the weakness. Because due to some kind of subservience, that soul is using its defect. Some kind of subservience. So if I am a master, this is what Baba said, your title is Master Almighty Authority. So someone who has the title of Master Almighty Authority, what they should do? Give donation of power. That means you have all the powers. Somebody don't have the power. So give them the power through your practical example. That means, it is a stage equal to God. It's not an ordinary stage what Baba was talking about. And we all have taken up the challenge to become like God. Who are angels actually? Angels are sons of God. They are God-like. They are not God but God-like. So Baba is actually lifting us, from what we are to make us equal to himself. So this generosity is really a wonderful virtue. We should take up a class separately on it another time. When there is such a big heart, a heart like an ocean, there's so much forgiveness. That is why God is praised as ocean of forgiveness. Because generous doesn't keep anything in his heart. Benevolent. Generosity is combined with many powers and virtues. So I need to experiment. Because we have been, we also sometimes come under the influence of our sanskara. Sometimes we also get influenced by the sanskara of others, and we begin to interact on that basis. But now the newness Baba wants us now is to create that feeling of belongingness. When you have that love, when you share that love and cooperation, that is the feeling of belongingness. This is how even the first timers, when they come and meet Baba, they feel they belong. First time they come to Madhuban, first time they meet dadis, immediately there is the feeling of belongingness. What made them feel that? Genuine love. Not superficial love, not love for the sake of loving. That's why they say to be loved, to love others for the sake of being loved is human. To love for the sake of being loving is angel. So if I have love for someone because I have received so much of love from Baba, that is what I share. So then there cannot be any kind of feeling of rejection or feeling of lacking anything. So this is what Baba called it as holding hands in hands together. What it means, that cooperation of considering your defect as my defect. To that extent, family love. In a family, if a child has a weakness, what the parents will do? They won't go and talk about it to the neighbors, isn't it? They will just accommodate and give that child the strength to overcome it. So this is like considering somebody's defect as my defect and merge it. And keep giving love on the basis of that speciality. Speciality for which Baba has given love to that child. And sustaining that child as his own. So when we have so much of faith in each other, then we are able to consider, someone's defect as ours and accommodate, not talk about it. And so if we can create that kind of atmosphere, so there will be oneness. Actually, what is going to reveal Baba in the end is the oneness. Unity, that is going to reveal Baba. So in one way, Baba was talking about bringing that unity, unitedness in our thought through acceptance. Holding hands with each other means connecting ourselves with the thoughts. After all, we are all following the Srimat of one, isn't it? So there should be unity. But due to one reason or the other, our intellect is pulled towards the old world or old sanskaras, that unity is divided. So Baba's signal, especially yesterday, was that genuine love for each other. That I can't see the defect, but appreciation. Appreciation. Even before giving cooperation, I can begin with appreciation also. Like everybody has different strength. Everyone can do certain things in a different way. Appreciation means in my heart to think you did well. That attitude, in my attitude, not criticism in my attitude. Because that also reaches that soul. Even in my attitude, you did well. That is all the power you had. You have used everything. Well done. Even though I don't say in words, in my attitude when I have that, it goes in the form of ripples and reaches that soul. And that soul feel respected. That soul feel loved. And so automatically it is prepared to do anything for Baba. When you have love, When you feel respected, you sacrifice. Otherwise, when we don't give what the soul is seeking, so we experience a kind of tug of war. So that is a homework. Baba has given a long list of do's and don'ts. So go through that list once again. What we should do and what we should not do. Then automatically the aim of becoming equal to Baba is practical. And of course Baba again reminded us about the two things at the end. Nowadays in our world, they do two things. Baba said one is exercise and the other is diet. So the exercise Baba has reminded for us to practice is wherever, as long as I want, whenever I should be able to become that form. Brahmin, angel, deity. That exercise. Today I am Brahmin, one moment angel, then deity. But the more purity I have in this Brahmin life, the easier it is for me to visualize my angelic form. Can you all see your angelic form in front of you? Because if the angelic form is not clear, deity form cannot be. So this is white dress and angel is light dress. So how long does it take for you to become resident of the angelic region? How far is the subtle world from here? How far? Really? You can go in 1 second? But you have to do something. It is 1 second definitely, but you have to change your dress. When you change your dress, your address change. So can you change your dress in a second? From this physical to the body of light? Who can do that? The one who has loose dress. Yeah, means this is my dress. First of all, I have to use knowledge. I have to see that angelic form in the mirror of knowledge. That this is I the soul now. I am in this body of orb of elements. Right? I know how I look like. Now, I see in front of me, I the soul, the same body but of light, orb of light. Just like you see your shadow. Shadow is behind you and this is in front of you. Shadow is black because it is just when the light is reflected on you, the shadow is created. Because here I am in front of the light, so I see that body of light, same, but without bones and muscles, but orb of light. Can you see now? Can you see? You are sitting here and your angelic form is also in front of you. So to change the dress means I change my consciousness from being in this orb of element into the orb of light. And you should stay in that as long as you wish. So that means your consciousness is lifted. You have gone beyond the physical. That is called avyakt. Vyakt means physical. Avyakt means beyond physical. That is subtle. So I need to practice that dress changing and give myself the challenge to remain in that dress as long as I wish. Then the more longer I remain in that body of angel, that subtle body, then I can see my future deity form. So that angelic form is the stage of completion and deity form is the stage of perfection. So this is effort maker form, that is my complete form, and that my perfect form. It is just like you have 3 dresses hanging in your wardrobe. Huh? One black dress, one white dress, one shining dress. So it's your dress. So how long does it take for you to change from one to the other? Because it's yours, not mine. If you take mine, it will not fit you. So first of all, I have to prepare the dress and keep it ready, hanging in the hanger in front of me. Is that ready? So now we can experiment for this half an hour. Just being in the angelic dress, don't go into the other dress. So you are here and see the dress on the mirror of knowledge. It's an orb of light. You are beyond the 5 elements. It's once Dadi Gulzar was describing how does the subtle region look like. She said it's like 1,000 moonlights put together. One moonlight, you can see how bright it is. And it is that kind of totally light. You cross the boundary of the ether. So it's unlimited. So the intellect is lifted totally. Those who go in trance, they can have vision, but we can see through the understanding. So first of all, I have to use the intellect to understand, and then I can feel it. So this exercise we have to do. 1 second corporeal, 1 second subtle, and another second incorporeal. But I should be able to hold on to that stage as long as I want. And that is why Baba said the other thing, you must feed your intellect with pure thoughts. So that is a preparation. If you have not fed your intellect with pure thoughts, it is impossible to change your dress. Because purity is first. If there is negative thoughts during the day, it is ordinary thoughts, waste thoughts, then no way. Dress will get stuck, You can't change the dress. So preparation has to be from the time I woke up in the morning, continuously feeding my thoughts. That's why Baba said, even to have waste thought, negative thoughts is like becoming a non-vegetarian. It's comparison to that, it's becoming a non-vegetarian, isn't it? So I have lost my diet. So how can I touch my angelic form? That is very pure. So that is why I have to keep practicing what I feed my intellect. So that is why I don't have to see anybody. See myself and see Baba. Right? So keep practicing. Even every time the traffic control song plays, take that as a challenge to change the dress instantly. Check your thoughts. Because if you allow one time ordinary thoughts, it will become waste very easily. And if you allow too many waste thoughts, then it becomes negative and impure. It doesn't take time. Dropping is very fast. Going up takes time. So in Madhuban, if I can't make that effort, where else I will make? Right? So these were some of the aspects that Baba took up. So we will try to see during this next 2 weeks, we will arrange some yoga experimentation sessions where we can practically go through only that kind of experience, drills, different types of drills that Baba has asked us to practice. But right now, for the next hour as we sit in meditation, we can use this time to give ourselves a challenge to practice this exercise of becoming corporeal, subtle, incorporeal. For the first half an hour, 6:30 to 7, subtle. 7 to 7:30, incorporeal. See, if you can, then you know you are the master. You are in control.